Hi there. Evidently today is International Riesling Day, and as a real Riesling fan, I couldn't let that pass. So I thought we'd try something classic and German from the Rhine. So I have a bottle here of Muller Catoir, and I'm going to have to make sure that I say this correctly. Gimmeldinger Mandelgarten Riesling Spatlese. It's 2015. So just to try and interpret that for you, the estate Muller Catoir is one of the quite historic estates of the Rhine, in the Palatinate, in the Rhine Pfalz. An estate established, I believe, in 1744, and now owned by the 9th generation of the same family. So the Catoir family, involved in managing and running the estate still today. Evidently, Mandelgarten is a Grosslager, so a recognised vineyard. Gimmeldinger is the village in which it's in, and a Mandelgarten, I believe, is an almond orchard. So prior to there being vines, that was what this site had historically been used for. In terms of the Rhine, you're going to get a slightly richer style of Riesling to that which you'd get in the Moselle, where it's lighter and more elegant. A Spatlese, literally translated, means late harvest. So these are grapes that are harvested at above full ripeness, and generally, although not always, they ferment until there's a level of sweetness. They might potentially contain a tiny amount of botrytis, but in general, botrytis will go into Auslese. So we're looking for sort of richness and elegance here. Smelling the wine, really I should just look first of all at the colour, because it's got quite a lovely richness, but more sort of on the a deep sort of greenish yellow tinge there, and really quite viscous. It sort of slurps around in the glass quite a lot, and yet at the same time there's a slight spritz. So considering the wine's been in bottle for coming up 6 years, that's not doing badly. The aromas are lovely and rich, and there's sort of lots of ripe fruit in there, perhaps with a slightly perfumed top note, slightly floral perfumes, but there's rich sort of apricot, pineapple, that sort of fresh, maybe a little bit of tangerine, that sort of note in there. Tasting it, that's deliciously rich on the palate, and that richness is, again, it's those ripe sort of stone fruit, but yet there's good acidity. So citrus, sort of mandarin, tangerine sort of style of things. There's a slight sort of waxy texture. There are floral notes, sort of delicate top notes. There's good acidity, but the finish leaves a little sweetness on it there, sort of honeyed nectar notes sort of continue on the palate for a while there. The alcohol is not too high. The bottle says it's 10%. It really doesn't intrude on the wine at all, because the richness and the roundness of the fruit is lovely, and there's a sort of a lingering limey floral note to finish with. It's a wine that would, cut through foods really nicely, and that might actually sort of accentuate the fruit even more as the two interact. Still relatively young. I mean, it's only a 6-year-old wine, but at the same time starting to show those first sort of waxy, rounded aging notes as well. It's absolutely delicious. So wherever you are today, I hope you're celebrating Riesling Day. Cheers. Bye now.